Have you ever had the experience where part of you really wants to do something, but then there's another part of you that just doesn't? Or when part of you really likes someone and wants to move forward with the relationship, but then there's this other part of you that chimes in and insists that you move more slowly? And you're just left feeling stuck in between these competing parts of yourself. Internal family systems approach to therapy, also called IFS, addresses these various and at times competing parts within us, much like an actual family system. Each member of a family has a role, and as we all know, members of a family can often struggle to get along and be on the same page. Well, IFS proposes that those same dynamics exist within ourselves, within our own internal family systems. In an internal family system, each family member, or what is referred to as a part, is valid and important with its own strength and wisdom. The central factor in this family system is called the core self, and its function is to balance and integrate the different parts. For example, one part may be quite playful, while another part is a perfectionist, and yet another part functions as a helper. The core self tries to integrate all of these parts, bringing out the strengths in each one when the situation calls for it. But when life becomes difficult and overwhelming, it can create tension within the internal family system. Again, sort of like what happens in an actual family. To survive the stress of life, these parts may double down in their respective roles and become more rigid and extreme and less willing to play nice with the other parts of the system. Let's say Rachel is going through a difficult divorce. Her perfectionist part may take over at work to give her a sense of control. And then after work, her playful part might convince her to stay out way later than usual in an effort to distract her from the painful reality of her personal life. Meanwhile, her helper part, which felt most connected to the relationship, completely shuts down. And none of it feels entirely within Rachel's control, because the core self has been sidelined as these extreme parts take over. While the extreme aspects of each part may provide temporary stability during a time of crisis, they typically do not lead to long-term healing and wholeness. Therapy from an IFS perspective seeks to reintegrate each part back into a unified, collaborative system that is governed by the core self. A major part of this process is to reestablish the core self as the leader, providing secure and empathetic leadership that allows all the other parts to feel safe relinquishing their extreme roles and returning to a more cooperative place within the internal family system. IFS is used to treat a wide variety of conditions and disorders, including trauma, anxiety, depression, addiction, and compulsive behaviors. IFS can also be used in couples and family therapy with the focus on helping each person in the relationship understand, listen to, and honor not just their own internal parts, but also the different parts that exist within others. In summary, IFS is an approach that focuses on restoring harmony between different internal parts that have taken on extreme roles in order to survive crisis situations. By restoring harmony between different internal parts, we can rediscover our core self, as well as identify, listen to, honor, and integrate each part of our internal family system.